Hello, I'm BoodFM and welcome back to the channel. If you are brand new, hopefully by the end of this video you'll be kind enough to subscribe. Make sure you all hit that notification bell and you'll never miss one of my future videos. But thank you for anything you do, any comment, any thumbs up. Anyone who watches an advert while they make a brew, easy peasy, or becomes a patron, that is massive for me and my channel. You'll find a link to my Patreon down below in the description. So, welcome back to the build series. You might remember for many years I did rebuilds for years and years and years, and I think I pretty much did all the classic rebuilds. And then last year I decided to change it up a bit and take cool teams that have got something about them, a great history, a great name, a great kit, something. A team with no real history, and try and win them a major trophy. I made a couple of them, had a lot of fun, and I brought it back with Union Berlin. I think this club is perfect for a build. Try and win them something, and I can't wait to get stuck in, so let's get stuck in. So of course many of you will know about Union Berlin and how well they're doing at the moment, but it was the history, and once I started to look into the history, it made me want to do this series even more, because they've always been up against it and spent many years of mediocre levels of football, until recently. Obviously they got promoted in 2019 and they've just been on this brilliant arc upwards. So if we look at the Bundesliga at the exact moment I'm filming this now, they are third in the league on 51 points. I mean, there is a chance, it could happen, they could win the league, right? Get second. I mean, insane. They've been on this great arc the last few years. But this is where the pressure comes from. Not only for me, the main aim of the series is going to be to win a trophy, a pokal, a league if I can, maybe something in Europe. But the real pressure is this first season. Looking at how well they've done, I'm going to be at the start of this season trying to replicate this. Don't know how easy that would be. So here we are at the start of the game on the main page for FC Union Berlin. Now the nickname is in German, but it does mean the Iron Ones. They used to be called the Metal Worker Boys, and they used to play in blue. But after World War II, all the teams got scrapped. A few name changes later, they reformed with red and white home colours, and they are called the Iron Ones. It says year founded 1966, but the original club was founded in I think it was 1909. But this form of the club was founded in 1966. The stadium, we'll talk about that in a minute. Great story about the stadium, but it's not massive. Small ticket prices are in Germany. Small season ticket prices. I mean, Christ, if that's true, you're watching a team in the top 3 of the Bundesliga for £183 a year. I think that is absolutely fantastic. Now, if you look at the graph of their history in the league, you'll see for yourself, they spent many years in the Bundesliga too. As you can see, like average positions, 6th and 7th, I think, like that. Look, 6th, they got a 4th. But the fans were happy with that because of the things the club has been through in the past. I think for many years they were just happy to just, sail along and just be a club, because there's times when this club nearly folded many times, but after they've been promoted, they've done really well. Look, 11th, 7th, 5th, and now of course, as you've seen, they're 3rd. Now they are an East Berlin team, which means they're part of East Germany and played in the GDR. You can see they've won a GDR Cup. Now, from what I've read, Dynamo Dresden, great team, won 5 league titles, and the leaders of the Communist Party wanted a successful team in Berlin. Moved all the players over to Dynamo Berlin and created a super team that won like 10 league titles, but it was corrupt. They were paying off officials, referees, and I read a great quote somewhere that said, for Union Berlin, it was basically like playing in North Korea against Kim Jong-un's favourite team week in, week out. They had no chance, but the fans just stood up and fought and stuck together, and this club somehow survived. So the current president is Dirk Zingler, and he's been in charge since 2004. The club nearly went under. The German FA wanted 1.5 million euros and they didn't have it. He came in, he stepped in, he covered most of the cost. The fans started a campaign called Bleed for the Union. They were selling their own blood basically to make as much money as possible to keep the club going, which is absolutely insane. That is pure passion. Then 4 years later, the stadium was on its arse. It was in massive need of renovation. 2,500 fans rolled up. Majority of them didn't have any actual skills and just offered their services to help work for free to repair the stadium. I mean, this is a fans club. The fans decide everything, and Dirk, I'm guessing, is a bit of a legend because he steps in at the right time. and I don't think he wants to piss off any of the fans. So this is a proper football club that's nearly folded, that now is in a great place and deserves to be in a great place, and I want to keep him in that great place. Now, I can't pronounce that stadium, the Stadion an der Alten. That's what I'm going for, right? It's a 22,000 capacity stadium, but it's only got 3,500 seats. Apparently the atmosphere is amazing. It's pretty much all standing, and I really hope this game doesn't fill them in. I like that idea. I think that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's had more renovations, you can see, in 2020, and it does look quite good. And of course, we're based in East Berlin, a proper Berlin team, and again, from what I was reading, there's massive passion for football in Berlin, and the big team is Hertha Berlin, but neither team really had any success. I mean, they play in the big Olympic stadium that was built in the 30s, but I don't think they've never won much, have they? So I want to do that with Union Berlin, and hopefully I can. We've got decent facilities, decent youth recruitment, so I've got work to do there, but the money isn't going to be great. So I was going to scout like I have never, ever scouted before. I have got a ton of leagues running. I've got all the big leagues running, and most of Europe. There's not much left, right? Poland's, Austria's, all the like Netherlands, Norway, Croatia, Serbia, and so on, right? And my plan for the season was going to be to hit it in blocks, right? So if there may be 3 leagues at a time, go through every single team in the league, don't care, and just select the entire squad, scout for full knowledge. And I did that, and I do that for the full season until I've completed it all. And I put together the most insane shortlist I've ever had, just hopefully to give me not just the knowledge, but the ability to maybe find a bargain, find a gem out there in Eastern Europe maybe for a couple of million, because that's what we're going to need to do. Now, we do have a couple of affiliates, lower level Berlin teams, but we've got a team out in Argentina, which might be cool. I've not switched Argentina on, no. I might do for the second season, because if we've got links to Argentina, I've just been to Argentina with my Boots Boca Boys series. If you've not seen it, go and check it out. 4 episodes. It was my passion. I've waited 7 years to make that series, and I'm missing it already. So maybe we can find some good bargains. And I did forget the mascot. It looks like a knight, right? But it's the quote I read about the mascot for Union Berlin that it looks like Postman Pat's evil twin, right? And it's right. Actually, watch Postman Pat for the first time the other week. I've got 2 small boys, and I used to watch it myself as a kid. Have you watched Postman Pat recently? He lives in a little village, right? He works in the biggest postal office you've ever seen on his own with one other guy. For a little tiny village, he's got helicopters, planes, boats, motorbikes, a fleet of vehicles to deliver 1 package a day, right? He's got a tank. It's off its tits. But the weirdest thing is Postman Pat's got married now. It's like, what? He's got a kid. Postman Pat's had sex. Weirded me out. Now, if you're a fan of my channel and my series, you'll know about me and staff. This is something I can work at least. I will try and make it the best I can, and I do my utmost, especially that scouting team. I need to get the best scouts in. I don't care, because they are going to be worked to death. But having good staff will always help you. I've always done it, and I have a lot of success on this game, and I think this is a part of what helps me. So I'm very excited to do this. It's one of my favourite things, building a staff. So of course we're in the Bundesliga, and they just want me to avoid relegation. I finished 5th last year. Crazy. Pokal. I've said this a million times. It is my favourite trophy. I love the look of it. It looks like Indiana Jones on The Last Crusade, the cup he picks that he shouldn't pick, the bad guy, and he drinks out of it and he melts. Always reminds me of that. I love it. Get to the quarterfinal of that. Hopefully, I'd love to win that. But we're in the Europa League. Very exciting. But of course, the Bundesliga, our bread and butter. And even though we did finish 5th, I don't know if that's the computer algorithm, I've said this before, has looked at our squad and said we're the 14th best team in the league. So there's no pressure on me in-game. It's personal pressure because I know how well they've done last year in real life, and I know how well they're doing this year in real life. So yeah, I did feel a bit. I am feeling a bit. Good prize money though, innit? I want some of that top end prize money. Badly. But yeah, I think most of you know the rules of the Bundesliga. Goal difference in the league. I don't think foreigners are that bad, are they? I mean, I played quite a bit of Bundesliga. 8 players trained in the same nation for 3 years. Minimum of 4 players trained at a club for 3 years. Minimum of 12 German players in the squad, but your squad could be 99 players. Happy bloody days. I like that a lot. Club vision though, what do they want? Well, be competitive in the Europa League, establish yourself in the Bundesliga. I'd say they've done that over the past, what, 3 years? But fair enough. And just get to the latter stages of the Pokal. I'm just super excited, man. Like, really excited. Let's click on the supporters. Make the most of set pieces. Don't really care about. Sign German players. I'm signing the best players who are cheap. And get a better result than our rivals, Hertha Berlin. Very excited to play that. Because, of course, it's not been drawn yet. We've got to play the first round of the Pokal. But my first game in the Bundesliga is at home to our arch rivals, Hertha. Bring it on. I love seeing Schalke back as well. That's quite nice, isn't it? So transfers, pretty much all been done. You can see right there, they sold £27 million worth of players. I've not let anyone go yet. They've got some good players, to be fair, unfortunately. Now, they brought 3 players in on loan. We'll have a look at the squad in a sec, but I've already added 2. I felt like I needed 3 players, and I've just used a loan market because that's all I could do. I've signed Jean-Paul Van Heck, 22. I think he's a good little player. I've signed Fernino. I've never heard of this kid, I'll be honest with you. Right, he's worth quite a bit, I think. And I just thought he looked solid, like he could come in and help. What a player for bloody Nino is. I'm currently in the process, and I do sign Reece Nelson. I think he's a good little winger. I think he'll be fantastic in the Bundesliga. Young English lads seem to do well there. So obviously at the moment, at this save point, I'm sorting it out, but he does come. So I was very excited for that because he can play on both wings and cover in other positions. Obviously, this is my squad arranged by ability without Reece, but he does come. And I think it's pretty big, right? I've got too many players from the European squad. There's about 5 or 6 players miss out, right? But my plan was to just, and I've done this before, I picked the best 25 for Europe. The others will get unhappy. And then going through the season up until January, I was just going to see which cream rise to the top and just go with that. There's players in this squad that don't want to sign and will be leaving, so I'm going to try and cash in on them. I've got an aging player or 2 whose contract's going to come to an end and don't want to re-sign. They'll be going. And then just get to January, and if I've got a few players there who like not playing or they've played once, see you later. Try and offload them in January if possible, and make a bit of money. So yeah, I just wanted to keep my options open really and just see who the best was. So we're going to quickly go through some of them. I'm just going to quickly rattle through them. There's so many, and I think in episode 2, when my squad's more mine and it's a bit more balanced and smaller, we'll have a look at it in a bit more detail. But the squad, right, when you look at it, now he wants to leave, is good. Like, players like him who are, I think, are good, right? And that's what the squad seems to be. There's no world-class talent. It's just full of really good, all-round, decent players. So let's just jump forward to the 1st of Jan. It's 2023 and see where we're at. We're 7th. Lost 3 at this point. Drawn 6. Won 5. But, you know, I felt good, though. We just started quite slowly. Yeah, I didn't win until my 4th game. And then I didn't win for another 4 games. So that's only 1 win in, 8. I was a bit worried, but I was playing this tactic, which I love. Loads of success. But it just wasn't working. I think I was just lacking an attacking midfielder. So if you're new to my channel, I only use 2. I'm not really a tactics guy. I've got a way of playing and I stick to it. Like a proper manager. I have a philosophy. So I switched it up to this and it started to work better for us. We started to pick up a few more points and I was going to stick with it for the rest of the season. In the Pokal, we drew a team I've never heard of, I'll be honest with you. I've probably come up against them in my other series in Germany. 1-2-1, beat Hamburg 3-0, and now we've got Werder Bremen in the 3rd round. But what about the Europa League? Well, we were in Group D with a mighty Man United, Feyenoord, very good team, and Nantes, who are a good team. I looked at that group and thought, shit, this could be tough, but we did enough. Finishing 2nd, I'll show you the defeats. You'll know who beat us. We drew with Feyenoord away 2-2, and then there are victories, all clean sheets. Happy bloody days. 10 points, we're through. Whew. And we will be facing Shakhtar Donetsk from the mighty Ukraine. Come on, Ukraine. I haven't got Ukraine running, but yeah, this could be a toughie. Now the finances aren't great. The little money I did have, obviously I've used in loans and put into the wages because we started to overspend when them players came in. But this was the point when I was looking at that squad and started to clear my decks. And at this point, I managed to get rid of 2 already. Milos, just not playing for me, so it's like I don't need him. And Paul. So I brought a couple of million in. I've got other players leaving. One at the end of the month, one in the summer, getting a couple of million for them. Happy days. I'm in the process of selling a few others. This is only January, so I'm still not completed this list. I saved the big leagues like England, Italy, Spain and so on till the end. I just concentrated first on getting knowledge in like Croatia, Serbia, Poland, Austria, Switzerland, places like that. But it's bloody massive, and you can see for yourself. I've still got a lot of scouting left to do. And here's my staff. I kept my assistant. I think I had 2 assistants. Don't know why. And it's one of them annoying ones where your assistant gets thrown in with your coaches. I hate that. But I kept the assistant, and everything else got completely rebuilt. I've not got a director of football or anything. I don't think I need one on this. This is a squad arranged by average rating, and you know, I haven't got a lot of green average ratings. But as a team, I just felt like at this point of the season, we'd started to kind of come together a bit. We'd settled into that tactic. I'd got rid of a few lads, and I'm in the process of getting rid of a few more. A few more will go over the course of this month. And if we jump forward a month, I'm getting rid of a few more. There's 2 good players there going. One's Christopher Trimmel, but I mean, he's 35. He won't sign a new deal. I had offers in, but he ended up deciding to go to Spartak Moscow. End of the year. Great. And Nico, who was great, I'd have happily kept this kid. And again, his contract was running out. He won't sign. People came in for bids, but again, he's chosen to go Bayer Leverkusen on a free at the end of the year. I have decided to sign these 2. Jean-Paul Van Heck hasn't played a ton, but I like the look of him, and he's free. Sod it. Come on, I can always sell him on. And Reece Nelson comes up on a free as well, and he's been a decent squad player, and he can just cover on them wings. So why not? He's free. I did make one signing though. Brandon Williams. Again, these young English lads I think do well in the Bundesliga, and he can play at left back naturally, right back naturally. He can come in for these guys that are going. He's only for half a season, but I couldn't say no. I think it's costing me about £500,000 for 6 months. The youth intake wasn't bad. We've got some decent players. I've signed up the majority of them, not the really poor ones, just to, you know, put them down in that youth team, see what can come of them. You never know, but yeah. I mean, I didn't expect it to be awesome. On to the Pokal, which we are no longer in. In the 3rd round, though, played Werder Bremen, went for it. I didn't beat him. It battered him 4-0. Brandon Williams scoring. Firmino is a player. Very happy with that. And then we came up against Bayer Leverkusen. And Patrick Schick, the Dick, scored all 4 goals, knocking us out of the quarters, but it's okay. Then it was on to the Europa League, which we are also out of, but we did get to the quarterfinals as well, which is respectable. I'm quite happy with that. Shakhtar was a 2-1, beat them 1-0. Then we got Bold Glimt, beat them 2-0 in both games. And it's Arsenal Premier League. You know, we needed something extra special to get past them. I don't think we're there yet, but I'm very proud of it. I'm happy with the cup competitions in my first season, because really it's all about the league, which we are currently 4th in. 4th. So I'm there or thereabouts with what they're doing in real life. So yeah, I was quite happy with that because it's May. So happy. 54 points. We could actually still get 3rd. There's a possibility. A real possibility. Firmino is only a goal behind Sadio Mane and Karim at the big boy clubs. Honestly, he has shocked me how good he is. We go to the results in the Bundesliga from the turn of the year. What a game, by the way. Firmino 2-1 against Borussia Dortmund. We beat our arch rivals 1-0. And you know, it's been here and there, but some of them games were close. Some of them weren't. I mean, we got battered off Bayern Munich. As you can see, Firmino scored though. The Borussia Dortmund game, it's class. Even though we got beat, but we've just, you know, come together, I think, towards the end of this season, made a real push. Now, the live com is going to be against Freiburg at home. If we win this game, we get top 4. We get Champions League football, which I quite like the idea of being in the lower ones, Europa League or the Conference, just because they're more realistic of us potentially winning it. Champions League, well, then you've got to think of the money. Maybe a season in the Champions League will do us a world of good financially, so can't turn that down. It might help me transform the team and make us more of a Champions League team. The only trouble is got battered off them last time I played him. And when you look at the money, you know, we're £5 million down more than we were in January. So probably need to sell a bit. Hopefully we get a nice bit of prize money, finishing high up, Champions League, so on and so on. So I'm excited to see what kind of money they give me, because that shortlist of mine has just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Now don't get me wrong, the lower you go, you get into the turd levels. Do you know what I mean? I never bother with these. A lot of players still to be scouted. I probably won't even get through them all, to be honest, but I don't care. So this is a squad arranged by Drayton and Mr. Firmino, who I would love to sign. He's got years left on his deal, though, I think. He's got 22 goals. He's been brilliant. Great little player. Really like him. We've got Geraldo Becker, number 2. Good, decent player. I signed him on loan. Christ, I forgot. Just in case, actually, I wanted to play more attacking. He's more of an, he's attacking midfield centre. Forgot all about him. Used him a bit, to be fair. Forgot. But yeah, the lads have been doing well. I mean, he's been doing well. And of course, he's Sammy's brother, isn't he? When I saw that second name and looked at his face, I thought, gotta be related. And of course he is. So welcome to Berlin, to our fantastic stadium with all the standing bits. I love it. Now, I'm part of the best team I can there. Nelson's playing. He probably wouldn't have, to be fair. But my other left winger's knackered. Firmino is the only issue. He's not 100% fit, but he's too good to not start. We need him. Well, let's go. Very excited for this. I mean, it's going to be a challenge in the Champions League. I can't remember. When does the format change now? I've played so much. Is it in the second season or is it the third season? Because when that format changes, I quite like it, but you lose that ability, don't you, to drop down to a lower competition, you know, finishing third in your group and going into the Europa League. That'd suit us perfectly. Get some Champions League money, maybe drop down to Europa League, go on a good run. Christ. 1-0 down, not even a minute gone. I mean, they're a good team. We're top 4, but we have been a little bit hit and miss. Maybe lacking a little bit of quality, but how'd you find that quality in your first season? I'm just hoping, you never know, and I've said this before, when you get to the summer, who comes available? Hopefully I can find that right player that fits, because I do want to play more attacking, but we'll see what I can come up with my knowledge, my biggest shortlist of all time. Go on, Reese! He's going to be a proper Union boy next season. But yes, thank you very much for checking out this little build series. I don't know how long it's going to go on. My usual aim is 3 seasons, we'll see. Depends how many people watch it. How much you love it. I would like it to end with a trophy, but we'll just see. As long as I can keep improving the team and making them better, I'll be happy. But I'd love a cup, and it's always possible. But you know, ooh, what was that, man? Of course, the penalty's getting awarded. You like practically did a sliding kung fu kick, and he's going to be sent off. Just brilliant. Here we go. Come on. Can the goalkeeper be a hero? I need a hero. We need a hit. No. So we've got hills to climb. Anyway, you know, this game's left. We'll see how that goes if we don't win this. But I'm loving it. I do enjoy German football. I haven't mentioned it for ages, but I am part German. A little bit, about 10% of me. Did a DNA test. We've always suspected, because my grandma, one of my grandmas who we never met, she died, I think, died when I was a baby. Had a French second name, and then when the whole family did 23andMe DNA checks, we found out we've got like 10% German, 10% French. So we've like, that's got to be it. We've got to have like great grandparents somewhere. Come on, lads. Who our family theory is a German somewhere married a French person. They got together, moved or emigrated to England, and that line comes from there. So I do like German football. I missed that because someone was walking past. He was on a yellow card. He just handballed it. We're both down to 10 men, but we're losing. You know, but we're even on that pitch now. Come on, boys. Come on. Can we get back into it now with 10 versus 10? But I do like it as well, the Bundesliga, because you've got all the rights, haven't you? So you've got all the fancier graphics. Just makes it feel that little bit special. It'd be nice if it was like this for every league, wouldn't it? Right, I've had to make a couple of changes. Firmino's dying. He's just not on it. So the lad of the attacking midfielder he can cover there, he's going to play up top. I made a change in midfield. Jackals, come on. Yeah, I can't see us winning it. It'd be nice if we could get back into it. Right, come on, lads. You know, take a draw. A draw might be enough. I'm not sure. Maybe the results go our way. But there's games left. We've got 2 games left. But yeah, genuine thank you for checking this out. I do enjoy a build. It's not a rebuild. I'm not rebuilding them. I'm building them, hopefully. Hopefully. Brilliant. Well, yeah. Honestly, yeah. I want to really, put my own stamp on this team. Yeah, I always enjoy that more. It's nice when you take over a team, they've got good players, but there's a lot of work to be done with this team if I'm to get them to where I want them to be. But it's always better in it when you start to, season or 2 and you've got your own players in and they work. That's always the best bit. They work. Evolving Mindset on the ad boards. If you are struggling with your mental health, don't be afraid to reach out for help, and you should always get in touch with Evolving Mindset. Great charity, it's run by great people, and one of those great people is one of my great friends, Lee Monaghan. Honestly, they do great work for men and women, anxiety, depression. They've helped so many people, and Football Manager have now put them in the game for free for 4 years now, which is fantastic, really. Right, can we get ourselves a little consolation goal? Here's Jordan charging forward. He does. Well done, Jordan. So then, wasn't great. You never know what's going to happen in a live com. Played better matches. 3-2. We'll have to see what happens in the last 2 games. Well, we've just qualified at least for the conference. Now, we are 6 points clear, but there's 6 points available, and there's not much in that goal difference with Borussia Mönchengladbach. So, what's next? Well, we've got Hoffenheim, who are 12th, and Werder Bremen, who we battered earlier in the season, who are 10th. Come on. Well, we're at the end of our second game, and we're getting beat. 2-1. We drew the last game 2-2 with goals from Reece Nelson again and Firmino. So a draw and a defeat. We're limping our way to the finish line. Is it going to be Champions League or Europa League? Well, by an actual miracle, losing 2 and only drawing one of our last 3 games, we've done it. Finished 4th by 3 points. Borussia Dortmund 5th. Check that out. Freiburg, fair play to you. You beat me twice. I mean, Borussia Mönchengladbach were close to us. They've lost their last 2 games. Insane, really. And part of me is buzzing because of the money, but part of me is also, I don't like to lose or be shit. But Europa League probably would have suited us better. But we'll go into it, qualify hopefully for it, and do well in it. So jump forward a little bit so we can look at a few things. The first thing is the money, and obviously we've got some good prize money there. I reckon we'll get some more money, maybe Champions League as well. I mean, 20 million for a club like us, I could do some real damage with that. Of course, as you know, FC Bayern won the league. They also won the Pokal, and it is a bit of a bore fest these early years in Germany because Bayern is so dominant, but you can beat them. You need a good few years to do that, and I don't know if we ever will. But it is a bit of a ball fest, isn't it? And Arsenal, the team that knocked us out, went on to win the Europa League, beating Rennes 4-1 in the final. And the Champions League isn't played till the 10th. Hopefully Real Madrid win it. But I just wanted to look at it because this is the level we're going to be at next season. So, crazy. So there we are. That is the end of Building Union Berlin episode 1. As always, thanks for joining me. It's massively appreciated. Make sure you smash that thumbs up, get involved in the comments. All that helps my channel and this series grow. If you are brand new, hopefully you enjoyed that and you'll subscribe. Make sure you all hit that notification bell. But most of all, thank you for your view, and I hope to see you for episode 2. You legend. I'm very excited for this now. I think it can be a fun little series with a great little club, and hopefully I can achieve what I want to achieve, and hopefully we can achieve it together. So you stay happy, you stay safe. Auf Wiedersehen. See you next time.